Ladies and gentlemen, as the table topics master, I have prepared several topics about what? About the thin red line. So, we will have all of you, if not most of you, volunteer yourselves, or not, we will volunteer you to come up on stage and overcome your own thin red line. So as our time people already explained the timing for our table topic session, I will not go through it again. So may I have the first volunteer to cross the thin red line? Maybe we want to have one of the members to start something off, then the guests can follow. So choose a number between 1 to 5 and that will 1 to 8 and that will be your topic. 8. Toastmaster Shiyun. The pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. Toastmaster Shiyun.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
I have always been a child that has been very quiet, very shy, and I keep to myself quite often, and I find trouble expressing myself. I find trouble letting people understand what is it that I am trying to convey. Very often, the message that I want to convey get lost in translation. So I wasn't sure what to do. I turned to the only thing that I do know and that I enjoy, that is to write. My favorite language is English, so I start from there. I read up. I love stories, so I read stories. I write my own stories. When I was in primary school, I have this book that I write stories with my classmates as the members, with my classmates being in my story. So they're very excited as they were being portrayed in my story itself. As I went through life, my interest in writing developed, and I realized that my words are significant, and I realized that my words can change another person's emotions. Surprised with that yellow. Anyway, I realized that my words can encourage people if used wisely. I realized that my words can motivate people and to change their feelings, to change the settings and atmosphere of the entire meeting. So the impact of words in my life is enormous, and I am looking forward to develop this, to bring words, to bring languages into my writings, to improve them and to bring them into my speeches, and to find out how far this can go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shiyun. So she has set the example stage. May we have more people to follow suit? One. Chiong. Choose a number between 1 to 7.
1 to 7. Okay, 1.
1. Toastmaster Cheong, courage amidst adversity. Courage amidst adversity, Toastmaster Cheong.
Recently, I make a very crazy decision. It was on the last Monday, where we actually, I and my friends, we went to a Penang trip, and then we decided to go through the Penang Hill. So normally when people go through Penang Hill, they go through the cable car. But I decided to do something different. I say, friends, I want to climb the Penang Hill all the way to the top. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I never climbed more than 4 times in my life. And suddenly to say that I want to climb the Penang Hill with only less than half a bottle of the water, wearing jeans with a sling bags and a cap, and all the way up to the Penang Hill alone. I mentioned it twice because it's very important. Alone, basically it means that there's no other hiker doing it in the meantime. Basically, I alone, without experience, without much water, without any expertise on hiking or whatsoever, I said I want to hike the hill. Now, when it comes to this, the adversities is definitely much more than courage. But I choose to still to climb because I understand that in order to challenge ourselves to the very limit, in order to go through, to pass through the thin red line, I must do it. So, with all the courage I pack on, I start my journey. And I climb, and on the way up, I feel very tired. It was alone, there's nobody motivates me, and that's the hard part of climbing the hill alone. When you're tired, when you're out of water, you face the adversity of no one motivating you. So every time whenever I reach a point where I know it's at my limit, I look down to the step that I've taken, and look back up, and I know that is where I want to reach. So eventually, with all the power, remaining energy I have, I climbed through the very top, and the moment when I look at the hill, the view, it was so beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, next time, if you ever face any adversity, remember, adversity cannot be controlled, but courage definitely can. So be more courageous when you face any challenge. Thank you.
Very well done, Jiung, for conquering the hill. It is very good in Sunway Toastmasters Club. We have people like Ivan, who traversed Mount Everest and found enlightenment. So my advice to you is you can follow him next time to go to Everest. So for our third table topic speaker, perhaps you want to have a guest who's not a member because we already have 2 members. Anybody want to try crossing the thin red line?
Not guess, but
Chuan Yang. Yes. Choose a number between 2 and 7. 3. Toastmaster Chuan Yang. There is no end in endurance. There is no end in endurance. Toastmaster Chuan Yang.
ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters of all ages, today's theme is the thin red line. But do any of us actually know what the thin red line is? Before I actually go about ending an endurance, the thin red line actually refers to a battle by the 93rd Regiment of the Scottish Highlanders in the 18th century between Britain and Russia. The regiment was caught unawares by a cavalry charge of the Russians, and without much time to deploy, they arranged the men 2 ranks deep on the field of battle, and they met the Russian cavalry charge with 3 volleys of fire before battle was joined. Those of you who have been to England, in fact, those of you who are familiar with British military uniforms know that the traditional British military uniform is red in color. It has a red coat. And the Times reporter wrote back then that he could see nothing between the Russians and the British base but a thin red line tipped with steel. And thus, this phrase was born. Now on that day itself, we learned a great deal. We were shown a great deal in the 18th century about the endurance, the sure endurance of a British soldier. They saw the Russians coming, as infantry, as men on foot, facing a charge of horses and cavalry. It would be terrifying. You would think that your life is an end, and your life would be an end. But they endured, and their lives did not end that day. Back to you.
Thank you, Chuan Yang. Fun fact. Do you know why they wear their coats red color? It's so that if they get injured, you don't get to see their blood. So that's how much they want to endure. And they don't care if they bleed or not. So tonight, it doesn't matter if you faint or not. Just try your best in table topics. We still have 2 more slots. Anyone? Oh, yes. You get to choose 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which one? 5. Advanced communicator silver, competent leader, can call. War. Can call.
Who here never argues with their family? Please raise up your hands.
It's a lie.
So everybody gone through a lot of arguments, a lot of confrontation with the family. So that is another side of this definition of war. Now, war is a very phenomenal or very common thing we see in today's world. Such like not only a family argument, friends argument, even a Toastmasters argument, where you have confrontation with each other. I remember myself have a very big argument with my elder brother. I don't know, sometimes he's always he's a very arrogant person who always looks down on me. Ken, you cannot do this. Ken, you can do that. You're such a all the rude words coming out from his mouth. That really irritates me a lot. It sometimes gives me like demotivation. So I realized that in this kind of situation of this conflict, I must be able to resolve it, have like a better relationship with my elder brother. For example, talk to him in a nicer tone to create a peace with him. So he can feel that although that we two are brothers, we two have this sibling relationship, but we cannot have this war between us that keep on fighting until it is endless. Ladies and gentlemen, war is destructive, devastating, and of course create a lot of argument. All of us here have this common weakness that when we face confrontation argument with our friends, we dare not want to admit our mistakes. That is a very common thing. We always think that we are top of the world, we are the one who are the kings and the queens. But if we share our mistakes, we admit, we be honest to ourselves. In return, not only we get discriminated, but we ourselves we earn respect among our friends, our peers, and of course, our family. So ladies and gentlemen, admit your mistakes to prevent the war among your friends. Back to you.
So let's always remember that it's not the one who starts the war that matters, it's who ends the war. Yes. So let's end all the wars that are happening in our family, in our workplace. But currently there's still one more war going on because we have one more speech slot left. So there's a war going on right now. please choose between 2, 4, 6, and 7. 4. Competent communicator Hazel Ong. The enemy within. The enemy within, competent communicator Hazel Ong.
I believe that all of us have an enemy inside us. The previous speaker spoke about war. And why is this so prevalent? Because there is another side to us. There is a hide and there is a jackal. A very simple example would be, for example, keeping to your diet or exercising. I remember when I was studying for my exams, late at night, can you imagine? You're racking your brain, thinking so hard, studying. And in the middle of the night, I need to eat something, but I cannot because it's unhealthy. And the thing is, in my family, there are some people who have gotten diabetes, so that was a huge obstacle for me because it's a reminder that I should not eat this beautiful chocolate cake. I'm at war with myself. The enemy telling me, no, take a bite, it's fine. But you know that it is something that you should not do. Another example would be, you see this beautiful bag, you're in the mall, and you want to buy it, but you cannot because it's not right, it's not your money. But at times, there are serious matters that we also have to consider. For example, if you are doing something that is against your family's wishes or your loved ones, they don't want you to do a certain thing, but the enemy is telling you, you know what, it's fine, you should just do this, you should just take a bite. But here's the thing, the enemy will tell us to do anything. We have temptations and we have weaknesses. And it can apply to any situation in our lives. But what we have to do is not listen to the enemy. It's to run away and it's to fight whenever we can. Because every war cannot be fought, but the one within us, that is the enemy that we can take hold of. Thank you. Back to you.
If there's one thing we learn, if that's how Hazel treats the enemy within, you don't want to be an enemy outside of her. So with that, we have our 5 table topic speakers for tonight. Before I